Welcome to the TubeBuddy Express podcast, brought to you by TubeBuddy, the #1 tool to make your YouTube life easy. Each week, we discuss how you can utilize TubeBuddy to enhance your YouTube experience and make your life as a creator easier. And now, here's your host, Dusty Porter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 238 of the TubeBuddy Express podcast, where each and every Friday, brought to you by the fine folks over at TubeBuddy, I bring you an actionable 6 to 10-minute audio episode here on the TubeBuddy Express feed to help you start, grow, or monetize your YouTube channel and everything in between in regards to the YouTube world. And today, we are going to be talking about 3 things that I would have done differently if I started my YouTube channel today. For a little bit of context, my YouTube channel is just over almost 11 years old now. I almost started my channel by accident. I'm not going to be talking about the origin story of my channel at the moment. That's something you can hear on other podcasts here on the feed. But I will be talking about things that I wish, over a decade ago, I would have done differently. So I'm going to go ahead and start now with number 1, branding. I would have branded my channel around myself much, much sooner than I did. Basically what I did is I wanted to do tutorials and technology-based tutorials, and so obviously the channel name needed to be Technology Guru 77. Okay, that name is ridiculous. It doesn't roll off the tongue. It sounds horrible. And so the name of my channel already didn't set me up for success. And so what I mean by that is that folks didn't know the person behind the voice. They only knew my voice. They could only see. And at the time, I didn't have my face on thumbnails. I didn't have my face on a webcam. And so they just knew there was a voice giving them information. And so I missed out on a lot of referrals. I missed out on a lot of kind of back and forth between the channel and my podcast. There was a lot of things that I missed out on, all because I was not willing to put my face forward per se and my name, because now the channel is just my name. Dusty Porter is just my channel. I do have a separate technology tutorial channel as well called Think Tutorial. That one is separate, linked to a website that I have since built and still building to this day, still kind of in the infancy stages there. But having a channel named after myself, it puts myself out there much more, makes me kind of, I guess you say, more responsible for what I say and what I do. It's great for that respect. And also, as far as like search engine juice and as far as recognizing who you are on the internet, by changing that a few years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago now, it really has helped me not only monetarily, because people are now coming to me, they're emailing me, they're finding my social networks because of my YouTube channel. And so it's not only helped me monetarily as far as making more money, but it has also helped me in growing my community, because now folks know, oh, this is Dusty from the YouTube Creators Hub podcast, or oh man, I've heard him interview someone on the podcast, or I've heard him be interviewed on some of these other big business and entrepreneur podcasts. And so it's really helped me kind of put the glue together on my channel. And so I would have branded my channel differently. Now, does that mean you need to name your channel after yourself? No, absolutely not. For some people, it's not what you need to do at all, but maybe branding for you is something that you didn't focus on, and you may need to kind of engage on the branding side of things over on YouTube. So that's number 1. Number 2, I would have changed the consistency of my thumbnails. And what do I mean by that? Early on, and you can still go to my channel to this day and see exactly visually what I'm talking about, I had thumbnails and I would just make them myself in Photoshop. And I still do that to this day for most of them. Sometimes I outsource it to graphic designers, but for the most part, I make my own thumbnails, create my own thumbnails. But there was no rhyme or reason. There was no color pattern. There was no, the font was all different. So for thumbnail on Monday, I may use font A, and then thumbnail on Friday, I would use font B. There was no strategy there to try to have some sort of consistency to where when folks are watching my videos or they're searching for something else a day or two later, they see the thumbnail and go, oh, that's Dusty's thumbnail. I watched his tutorial on this a while back. I know it's going to be good quality. We're going to click here. I've noticed much more, higher CTR. The impressions went up after I did this. And so now that I have some type of consistency, now, not all my thumbnails are identical now, but I have some sort of template or theme with my thumbnail that has really helped me out as far as consistency on my thumbnails. And so maybe you need to look at your visual branding on your channel as far as thumbnails go, and then basically see if there's some things you need to change. And lastly, the connection between my YouTube channel and other things that I had going on online. So early on, I made a very concerted effort to separate my YouTube channel from my other outlets online, whether it be an email list or my website at the time, and then eventually the podcast. What I wish I would have done is do what I do now and keep everything in a fine knit bow. And what I mean by that is that the podcast that I do is connected to my YouTube channel, which is connected to my website, which is connected to my email list. And so they're not all the same. You know, my wedding videography stuff that I do is not directly linked to YouTube, but it is connected now. So if folks want to find me there, they can do that. I also am a voice actor, and I now have since linked my voice acting profile on all of my YouTube channel videos, and I'm getting a lot of customers and clients due to that. I also have a company, kind of a sub company that works with podcasters and YouTubers and helps them kind of get started. I even do editing of podcasting, that I've hired some people to work with me to do that. And so now I keep all of this in what I call a tree. You've heard me use the tree analogy before, where you have all of these branches kind of going off of this tree. And yes, the tree has the same roots and it has the same trunk and the same structure, but you have a bunch of different branches of that tree. Early on, I had the YouTube tree, I had the podcast tree, I had the e-commerce tree. I had all of these different trees that were not connected in any way, and so I was really missing out on the connectivity of that. And the beauty of the internet is that when someone finds you one place, maybe they're like, oh man, this guy's great on YouTube, but I wish I could find more of him. Little did they know I had a podcast where they could listen to me 30 to 45 minutes per week in a more intimate level via the podcasting medium. Now they know that. Now those things are linked together. And so maybe you're trying to separate things that shouldn't be separated, but that would be probably the most important. And the biggest one for me is that I try to disconnect things to a point to where everything was disjointed and there was no rhyme or reason. So that's kind of the theme of this week's episode, is that going from point 1 to 2 to 3, with the renaming of the channel, with the consistency of the thumbnails, and now kind of the disjointedness of my platform or my branding early on, I really think that if I would have done a better job of keeping everything together under one umbrella or one tree per se, is using that same analogy, I would have succeeded much quicker because folks would have bounced from one of my things to the next, right? Like it goes to back to the whole adage of YouTube watch time and keeping people on your video or keeping people on your channel. That is one of the biggest metrics now that YouTube gauges to send people to your content via the homepage, via the search results, whatever it may be, is that watch time. And if that's the case, they just want you to stay on the platform, right? And that's the same thing goes for you and your brand, right? People, you just want them to either go check out your course or check out your podcast or a YouTube video or hire you to do voice work or whatever it may be for you. I'm just talking about me in particular. And so those are 3 things that I would have done differently if I started my YouTube channel today. Thank you guys, as always, for consuming and listening to this podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. That way you get notified each and every Friday we go live with a new episode, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Hey guys, thanks for listening to another episode of the TubeBuddy Express podcast. Don't forget to go in the show notes of this episode and take a listen to my other YouTube-centric show called YouTube Creators Hub, where I interview wonderful creators. And also, if you haven't tried out TubeBuddy's tool, click the link in the show notes, go download the free browser plugin or extension, whatever you want to call it, and boom, try it out. I promise you will not regret it. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already, and leave a review, as that does help us grow the show.